There are a lot of people in the world that fall prey to criminal activities early on in their lives. However, there are always some who change the course of their lives just at the right time. Leon "Rocky" Edwards is one of them. Having a career record of 20 wins and 3 losses, the current UFC Welterweight Champion has seen many difficulties throughout his life and has successfully overcome every single one of them. Watch the video till the end as we tell you all there is to know about Leon Edwards and his road to the UFC Championship. Born in Kingston, Jamaica on August 25, 1991, Leon Edwards used to live in a one-room home with his parents, brother, and other family members. Growing up in a violent neighborhood where his father was also a criminal, all he saw as a child growing was violence, drugs, murder, shootings, and poverty. Kingston back then was insane as gangs committed all types of crimes without any resistance. So much so that for Edwards, hearing gunshots and people being killed was commonplace to him. However, he was safe most of the time because of his father's influence in the area. After spending his early years there, the Jamaican Rocky moved to England with his parents in hopes of a better life at age 9. All of them relocated to Birmingham, in England's Aston neighborhood. Even after leaving the area, his father never left the criminal world, and sadly for Edwards, his father was fatally shot at a London nightclub when he was just 13 years old. In his early teenage years, Edwards started to tag along with his social circle and engaged in illegal activity like drug dealing, street fighting, and knife possession. In order to save him from becoming overwhelmed by a life of crime and drugs, Edwards' mother enrolled him in the neighborhood mixed martial arts club, where he started training at the age of 17. 2 years later, Edwards debuted in 2010 in the Bushido Challenge 2, marking the beginning of his MMA career. The fight went well for him as he applied an armbar to Carl Booth in the second round to get his first victory. After this win, Edwards committed to a deal with Fight UK MMA. This was obviously a level up, but Edwards wasn't fazed at all when he faced Damian Zlotnicki in his promotion debut and defeated him in the opening round via technical knockout. He competed in 2 more fights for the company, defeating Paul Zwiefka, but being disqualified from the bout after hitting Delroy McDowell due to an illegal knee. Edwards then left Fight UK MMA while having amassed a 2-1 record professionally and joined BA MMA. Then came the Strength and Honor 14, where Leon Edwards defeated Craig White by unanimous decision. Furthermore, Edwards won all 5 of his fights while competing for BA MMA. He also defeated Wayne Murray to win the welterweight title, and in his final match with the organization before joining the UFC, he successfully defended the title once against Sean Taylor. Now is the time for the biggest step up in competition, as on November 8, 2014 at UFC Fight Night, Edwards faced up against Claudio Silva for the first time in the UFC. Unfortunately for him, he lost the fight to Silva by a split decision. In search of his first win, Edwards took on seasoned fighter Seth Baczynski on April 11, 2015 at UFC Fight Night 64. Edwards won by timing a kick and landing a straight left hand that knocked out his opponent 8 seconds into the fight. The outcome led him to receive a Performance of the Night bonus and was one of the organization's 6 fastest knockouts. After competing in another fight, Leon Edwards got an opportunity to compete against the champion to beat Kamaru Usman at UFC on Fox 17 in 2015. Unsurprisingly, the future champion Usman was victorious and dominated the match. Following his bout with Usman, Edwards took on Dominic Waters at UFC Fight Night 87 on May 8, 2016, and prevailed by unanimous decision. Next up was Edwards against Albert Tumanov on October 8, 2016, and in the 3rd round, he submitted him to win the fight. In the years that followed, Edwards fought Vicente Luque, Brian Barberina, and Peter Sobotta, defeating each and all of them. Then came the main event of UFC on ESPN4, featuring Edwards fighting Rafael dos Anjos, a former UFC lightweight champion. The match went on as expected and Edwards prevailed by majority decision. As a result of his consecutive victories, Leon Edwards signed a new multi-fight contract with the UFC. Next up for him was Tyron Woodley. However, as the event was supposed to be shifted from London to the United States, the COVID-19 restrictions caused Edwards to withdraw, and the event was eventually canceled. Enjoying the video? Make sure to hit that like button and tell us who is your favorite among all the welterweight fighters in the UFC. Now that Leon Edwards had been on a long break, the UFC withdrew Edwards from the UFC rankings due to inactivity after a 425-day layoff since his fight with Rafael dos Anjos. But a day later, it was revealed that the unbeaten prospect Khamzat Chimaev would be his opponent in the main event of UFC Fight Night 183 on December 19, 2020. As a result, Edwards moved up to position number 3 in the UFC welterweight rankings. On November 29, it was revealed that Chimaev had tested positive for COVID-19, putting the fight in doubt. The fight was eventually postponed and was later rescheduled for the 20th of January 2021 at UFC Fight Night 185. However, the bad luck continued for Edwards, as this time he officially tested positive for COVID-19 and supposedly lost 12 pounds as a result of the severity of his condition. The fight was rescheduled for a third time on January 13th and was set to serve as the main event of UFC Fight Night 187 on March 13, 2021. However, on February 11th, UFC President Dana White stated that the bout had been postponed once more because Chimaev was still feeling the effects of COVID-19. After so many postponements, Belal Muhammad was declared the replacement for Khamzat on February 18th. The bad luck continued to follow Edwards to this fight, as Edwards unintentionally poked him in the eye at the start of the second round. This resulted in Muhammad immediately falling to the ground in pain and blood started to come out of his eye. The ringside doctor ruled out the fight and declared it a no contest. After the controversial end to the fight that could have ended Belal Muhammad's career, Leon Edwards was set to fight the mercurial Nate Diaz at UFC 262. But the fight was rescheduled to UFC 263 due to Diaz sustaining a minor injury. At UFC 263, both fighters went after one another in a highly intense match that saw Edwards dominate the fight for the overwhelming majority of the time. However, Diaz took control late in the fifth, but it proved too late as Edwards won the bout via unanimous decision. After winning 9 fights in a row, Edwards got a chance to face off against his old nemesis, Kamaru Usman, for the UFC Welterweight Championship at UFC 278 on August 20, 2022. This was a clash for the ages, hyped up by everyone who loves the sport, and there is no doubt that everyone got their money's worth.
I'm here with the challenger, Leon Edwards. Leon, this fight has been a long time coming. There's been many hurdles for you. Tomorrow night it's here. Give us your thoughts on what this means to you and how you expect it to go down.
Salt Lake City, what up?
Started off with high intensity with Usman, repeatedly knocking Edwards down to the ground. However, Leon Edwards came highly motivated and showed grit and courage to face Usman's attacks. His persistence paid off when he finally dragged Usman to the mat, taking full mount, and then moved to the back to threaten with a rear naked choke in the opening round. This was the first time someone took Usman down in the UFC. Despite being the underdog, Edwards executed his plans to finish off his opponent with a decisive head kick that shocked the world. Edwards celebrated the triumph with a message for all people as he walked away with his arms up, only to be embraced from behind by his brother Fabian.
I am here with the winner and new welterweight champion of the world, Leon Edwards. Leon, please describe what this feels like.
I can't put into words, Joe. It's been a long 4 years. The old doubted me said I couldn't do it. The old said I couldn't do it. Look at me now. Living it. Pound for pound. Headshot. Dead. That's it.
This is a true account of survival and faith, the triumph of an unbreakable human spirit. Apart from that, Rocky has frequently praised his mother for forcing him to join MMA and for changing his course in life. It goes without saying that the Jamaican-born British fighter has experienced many difficult times in his life, such as losing his father or getting an eye injury that prevented him from competing for more than a year. All in all, the UFC Welterweight Champion Leon Edwards has overcome all the challenges presented to him over the years. He is a true testament that persistence and hard work pays off in life. For the gritty streets of Kingston, Jamaica to champion one of the toughest divisions in the biggest MMA organization in the world, the UFC, it remains to be seen what the future holds for Edwards, but he will definitely go down as one of the best to ever do it. That is it from today's video. We hope you enjoyed the content of the video. If you did, show some love and hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you never miss out on any of the amazing videos we have in store for you.